Hi guys, I'm Sherry. Today's video I would like to introduce you this new product that I actually just purchased, which is this. This is the Innisfree My Foundation. For this product, it actually just came into Singapore not long ago. For this product, it is actually said to be a more personalized foundation, as because you can actually choose the type of texture and coverage level depending on your needs. So as you can see that there is a number on the bottle, it is actually the number that you can choose, so that you can choose the type of texture, whether it's matte, semi-matte or glowy foundation, and then the level of coverage that you actually require for your foundation. So today I will actually share with you my first impression of this foundation, and then to also actually test this foundation out by wearing it throughout the day to see if it's long lasting and if there is any changes to this foundation. So now let's quickly move on to the video. Alright, so first let's look at the packaging of this product. This is the cover of the product, the Innisfree foundation, and the number that I actually chose is 1.3. So they actually categorize their foundation by numbers. So the first number and the second number, they actually mean something. So for the first number is to actually let you determine what kind of texture you want your foundation to be. So at the side description they actually have it. So for the first number, if you actually choose 1 is actually matte. Then for number 2 is actually semi-matte. Then number 3 is actually glow and dewy foundation. So for me, I actually choose 1 because I prefer a matte foundation after trying out the 3 different texture. Then as for the second number is to actually choose your coverage for the foundation. So if you actually choose 1, is more of the natural finish, which is lower coverage. Then I choose number 3, which is the high coverage, and then there is a 5, which is full coverage. So depending on how much coverage you actually need for your foundation, then you can actually choose accordingly. So the number I chose is 1.3. 1.3 is actually matte finish with high coverage. The color I chose is C13. The brightest color is actually C13. They actually have 2 different series. One is the C series and the other one is the N series. So N is more towards the yellow undertone, but then C is more towards the pinkish undertone. I initially wanted to choose a yellowish undertone and to get the brightest color, but unfortunately for the N series, which is the yellowish undertone, for Singapore they only bring in the brightest color is 21. But when I test it on my hand and on my jawline, 21 is actually too dark for me, so I don't have a choice but to choose the pinkish undertone. So when you actually open up, this is how it looks like. The packaging of this foundation is very cute. It's a very simplistic packaging with this matte finish glass bottle, and the cover is also matte black. So you actually just pull it out, and they actually have a pump to the foundation. Because using pump is actually more convenient if you are using liquid foundation, and they actually do a pump for you. So this is actually a very good design. And also on the bottle itself, they actually print out the foundation type and the number for you. As I mentioned to you, today I will be doing a first impression for this. So I would like to do a test out. So for today, the test out, I will also use 2 different types of makeup tools to see if there is any difference using different tools to apply the foundation. So half of my face I will actually use a brush, and the other half I will use the beauty blender. So let's try out a bit to show you on the hand. So let me show you the texture of it on the hand. I would say this foundation is not very watery. It has a little thickness to it. When you actually use your finger to spread it out, it's actually very easy to spread out. So this is how the matte finish is like, and it doesn't have any cakiness or powdery layer on the skin. So it is actually able to stick to your skin very nicely. So now let's actually test it on the face. So I will use one palm. I will start with this side of the face first. From my understanding, this product doesn't have any SPF to it. So a reminder to you that you need to apply your sunblock in sufficient amount before you apply your foundation. Actually, regardless whether the foundation has SPF coverage or not, you should actually still apply enough amount, sufficient amount for your sunblock. So for the left side of my face, I will actually use a brush. And then I will just spread it out. This foundation has a very nice scent. I think I smell a little bit of like the green tea serum kind of essential oil scent. It's very comfortable smell. But if you are actually very particular or very sensitive to smell, you may also have to, this may be one of the considerations before you purchase them. Alright, I have done applying it with the brush. Let's take a closer look. The coverage is really good. As you can see, recently I have a lot of like this redness and some little red dots on the skin, and pimples, so it's actually quite bad. But as you can see, comparison to my bare face, because before applying this foundation I only apply my skincare and sunblock, so the next is actually immediately applying this foundation already. But as you can see, I only apply one layer and it can actually cover up all the flaws on my face and give you a very nice skin balance kind of skin tone, and a very balanced skin tone, and it can cover 50% of your dark circles even, and then the redness as well. And it actually have a little bit of pore minimizing. It doesn't have any powdery or foundation that actually stuck on the corners. Even though it's matte, it is not really fully matte finish. It still has a little bit of natural glow on the skin. I actually quite like the result of this foundation. So next I will actually do the right side of my face. So again, I will just apply some around my face. Use my beauty blender. This foundation is really very easy to apply and it has very smooth application. As you can see, I just dab a few times and the foundation is evenly on her skin already. Alright, so now I'm also done applying one thin layer on my right side. Immediately I can see a little bit of difference already. Let me close up to show you a little bit. I would say because using beauty blender, and I actually soak my beauty blender with water a bit every time before I actually apply foundation using it. So as you can see, using beauty blender, it has more glow on the face. Coverage is also lesser as compared to the brush. The coverage using brush is actually more complete. Here is more like a natural look, but here is more like a complete makeup look. If you need a better coverage to this foundation, it's better for you to use a brush rather than a beauty blender. And one more layer to it. So this side, I actually apply a second layer. So after applying a second layer, it became more complete. So likewise, let me just top up a bit on the cheek here. I will use back the brush. And then just spread it out. So after applying second layer is a bit more obvious now that using brush itself is actually gives you a better coverage to your foundation. As you can see, the redness on my cheeks is still obvious, but here it can actually helps you cover almost everything. And dark circles, it also helps you brighten your under eye. But like me, I only have it here, so I think the coverage is not very high for covering pimples or acne. So from normal distance, this is how it looks like. So far, my impression for this is quite good. This is my first impression only. So for today, I will actually wear this foundation for the whole day. So I will actually keep you guys updated to see whether if there is any changes to the look of this foundation. Since I will be testing out this foundation, I will not apply any concealer or blushes or even loose powders to set my makeup. So I will actually just leave the foundation as it is right now. Then I will actually move on to do the rest of my makeup. So later I will just try to keep you guys updated. So the time now is 11:47. I will go do my hair for a bit and then go have my lunch, do some stuff. So I will keep you guys updated again. See you later! Hi guys! So now I'm actually outside just to update you all a bit about the foundation itself. So currently now is about 2+3 and I noticed that it turns a little oily already and the coverage actually dropped a bit. This is not blusher but it's my redness. So and then like the eye area also dropped a bit. So nose also, the T-zone area turns a little oily but still I think consider quite well. So I'll update you guys again later. Hi guys, I'm back. So now the time is actually 8:32, which means I have been putting on this makeup for 9 hours. So let me zoom in a little bit to show you how the foundation is like. So like I updated you guys around 2+3 that the coverage actually dropped by a little, but then now when I look at it under the light, the coverage remains as how it is since the 2+3, means it didn't actually fall off further than that, and it doesn't cause any smudge to my eye makeup. Probably a little bit, but not very bad. But dark circles is popping out already. Redness also, because like I mentioned, I actually didn't apply any blusher, so the redness you see right now is actually my own redness. Then a little bit oily on the chin, on the nose and forehead. It's just a little bit oily but not very bad. It also didn't make you feel very uncomfortable. Then even though the coverage actually dropped by a bit, but it didn't cause any cakey or powdery that actually cause a line on your nose wings. It doesn't cause any patches on the face. It just overall turned a little bit oily, but not uncomfortable to put on for long hours. The foundation that I choose is actually matte finish, but yet it doesn't make me feel very dry on the skin until it's very uncomfortable. For me, I'm actually combination skin, means T-zone is a little bit oily and then dry on the cheeks. But even using the matte finish for this Innisfree foundation, it didn't make my skin feel tight or dry or cause any patch on the face because of the dryness. So I still think it's still pretty good. Another thing probably is the effect to minimize the pores fall off a little bit too, but it's not very bad. It still helps to smoothen your skin and minimize the pores a little. But just in general, after 9 hours, the performance of this foundation actually is not as good as compared to initially when you just apply the foundation. So I think this result is actually pretty normal, because for all foundation, no matter how long lasting it is, depending on the weather as well, depend on whether you sweat or not, they may actually have changes after you apply for hours. So I would say this foundation is still something worth trying, and moreover, this foundation is actually pretty cheap. For this 30 ml foundation, they are selling at retail price of $32 Sing dollar. So I still think it's pretty acceptable for the amount and then the performance of this foundation. Oh, and another thing is that it didn't cause any white dots. It actually doesn't sink into your pores. Actually, I wouldn't prefer that kind of foundation if it caused me that kind of effect after hours. So I think for this personalized Innisfree My Foundation, it suits different skin types, because you can actually personalize and choose the foundation that suits your needs best. So like for dry skin, you can choose something that is more moisturizing. For oily skin, you can actually choose more of the matte finish, and then depending on whether you need a better coverage or a natural coverage will do. And I think that the performance is really quite okay. So for those who are interested, you may actually go and give it a try. Alright, so that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video and my first impression and my overall review after applying this foundation throughout the day. So please leave your comments below and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!